One, two. One, two. All right. All right. Shalom, brothers and sisters out there. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders, sorry, of Great Millstone. All right. Back with another live stream. This one is entitled War in the Holy Land. What does it mean? What does it mean? To put it in short, what it means is this: that the people in Israel now could not possibly be the real Israelites, the real Jews, because it's prophesied that when the Israelites go home, nations will learn war no more. So we know for a fact it's a certainty. And by putting all the media, the media circuits and all the reports and everything going on, what America's going to try to do is they're going to do what they always do. Whenever Israel gets into a conflict, they're going to blow it up all over the media. They're going to make like it's the worst thing ever happened in the history of man. And something got to be done. They're going to cry boohoo all over. Meanwhile, you're revealing that they're not the real Israelites, okay? And we thank you for doing that. Good. Because when the Israelites go home, prophetically speaking, when the real Israelites go back to the Holy Land, right, all 12 tribes are going to be together. King David going to be here. Yahweh Shai going to be here. America going to be destroyed. Armageddon will have been fought already. All of these things prove that you're not the real Israelites. And you fake-ass Christians, you can cry, you can whine, you can scream bloody murder, you can say that we terrorists, whatever you want to fucking say. The scriptures back us up on everything that we're going to say here and everything, all the videos that the brothers are doing. You've been found out. You fake ass, you 1948ers over here in America that you going to cry, bloody murder. You people YouTube and all over, wherever you at, you can cry and whine all you want to. We know you're not the real Israelites, and we can prove it through the scriptures. How the fuck you gonna say Israel went home and they back in their land now, but then Armageddon hadn't been fought, and here you is fighting over your land, and the other nations coming there and kill you in your own country? That don't supposed to happen when the real Israelites go home. How the hell other nations gonna be able to come there and take over or destroy, kill when the Lord gonna be here? You see? So you don't have a leg to stand on. Let's just start going to these scripts, and I got some news on deck as well. Now we'll start here in Jeremiah 28 verse 8. It says this: the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And we are well within our rights to talk about these things. Look at the first. You see that? Look at this person on the comment board going crazy. You see that? You know why they doing that? You see that? And you ain't heard nobody about doing that. Good. We want you here. We want you to do it because that's all you can do. Like was that crazy nigga on Silence of the Lamb said, Hannibal Lecter. You expect to dissect us with that blunt little tool? That shit ain't gonna work. Calling us nigga ain't gonna hurt us. Nigga. I said it. What are you gonna do? You still can't prove that you're not Esau according to end time prophecy, bitch. We told you couldn't do it. You still can't. Step on up and get this barbecue slap. You people are hurt. This motherfucker feel, and that's dirty tactics from Google, man. But nobody cares. No one cares. You hurt. Now let's get this. So as we were talking about in Jeremiah 28 verse 8, the prophets of old, and the water moderators for getting that, and look sharp because there's gonna be many of them. All right. Yeah, the water salvation of the elect over there in London. Yeah, and these bitches, they hurt real bad, but you can't do nothing about it. What you gonna do? What you want to do? Come kill us. You can't. We're the prophets of the Lord, all right? And the Most High said, now, and not to be proud, I'm just saying, those of us that are not supposed to be destroyed, you ain't gonna destroy the gospel is what I'm saying. You can't stop us from preaching the truth. And everything you do, we're gonna jump on it. We're gonna milk it. We're gonna grind you. We're gonna twist. We're gonna squeeze. We're gonna bring prophecy out. We're gonna edify. And you can just get mad. We don't care. We don't care what you say. We gonna read what's in this book, okay? And the book says you ain't the people. So we're supposed to talk about war, evil, and pestilence. That's what we're talking about. We've been telling you for a long time you're gonna go to World War III, man. Can a brother put that scripture up? Least of the flock will draw them out. That's one I don't have. You know what, Salaki? I'll just grab it right here. See, that's also prophetic. I got it right here. Grab that. And let's see, and let's just say what it means. And every brother gonna bring this out. But some of you that's watching this, you might not see them brothers' videos. So this is Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Edoms. This is against the so-called white man, but not just him, right? All the so-called white people, them ones from Ukraine, right? Them Slavic devils, and you over there in the Middle East, all of you, because you the same people. It says, and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, the German devils. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The least of the flock is who? The least of the flock is those the people we talking about, right? The little tiny hats with the little cubes on their foreheads. And I wasn't throwing a 6. I was just, doing that because it did look like a 6 when I did that. That ain't what I meant to do. All right. Them little cubes on their forehead, them frontlets and all of that. Okay. Let me give you a 7 because we ain't gonna put no 6 vibrations. 777, my nigga. Y'all forget me. I'm a little excited. So anyway, let me calm down and get back into it. So yeah, so we ain't putting out no vibration of the 6. We put out the vibration of the 7. Now, as it says right here, the least of the flock is those people we talking about, right? The Israelis. We just say it. The Israelis. Fuck it. What they gonna do? Right? You take us off, you just validate more of what we're saying. So they're the least of the flock. They're the most wicked of the Edomites. They're the most scumbag of the tribes of Edom. And they're going to cause all the rest of the Edomites to come together, and they're going to go into war. They're going to fight each other. Just like that illustration or that animation that was on the video the other night. They're going to just keep killing each other until finally their world is destroyed. And that's what the Lord wants to happen. That's what we want to happen. And we with that. Whatever the Lord got happening. Now, let me say this real quick. You weird ass Israelites that don't hardly do shit, that you don't make no videos, you ain't prophesying, you just watch the videos, you watch every group, then when some shit happen, you pop up on our comment board like you did on the Apostles live camp yesterday. It's no weird nigga. You very seldom ever hear from him. He pops up. What did they say about Israel, brother? You can go kick rocks, nigga. All right. You getting all messed up because something happened over there in Israel. The only thing prophetic going on is the fact that they're not the people and they're gonna get into conflicts. But they're going to be around to the very end. So stop saying Palestinians and the Israelis about to blow each other off the map. No, they're not. Israel got way more firepower than them little weak-ass Palestinians. They're going to destroy them. They're going to annihilate them. They're going to do overkill like they always do. Them damn Palestinians might start some shit, but then Israel going to come with them jets and them bombs. And these people got nuclear weapons, so don't get it twisted. The American media going to blow it out of proportion. They're going to do all that, make you feel sorry. So when they come with the overkill on the Palestinians, then you gonna, people feel they won't feel sorry for the people. But at the end of it all, the Most High gonna get rid of them people, man, because they're not supposed to be there. So it is what it is. We ain't worried about it. Just don't get too high up about it, thinking that this is the very end, because it's not the end. The Lord gonna get them devils out of there, but it's gonna have to be at the hands of Russia and their allies. These little Hamas, weak ass, they weak, man. Hamas ain't got no military. Palestine ain't got no military. Okay, they ain't really got no military like that. They might have some little rogue tanks and some whatever, but you can't trust the American media. You don't know what the fuck that's really going on over there. In my opinion, they may have set up some people to do this shit because they want to get rid of all the Palestinians. You see, them people over there in the Holy Land, they greedy, man. They want to take that whole area. But even that shows you that they're not the people of the Lord, because they're not supposed to be dividing the land. It's supposed to belong to the Israelites. When the Israelites go home, all 12 tribes are going to dominate the whole area and the whole earth. You ain't going to be fighting over land, bickering back and forth with some rock throwing Arabs. Who gives a shit? When our Lord comes, them chairs going to lay the real smack down. And that's what it is. So this all proves, what does war in the Holy Land mean? It means they're not the people. And we're going to read some of these prophecies. Let's read another one, Jeremiah 50 right here. Let me go here. Jeremiah 50. Yeah, I'll just read verse 45. It says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. There it is again. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Listen, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. Now, why in the hell is it mentioned in Babylon here? Now, the chapter was about Babylon, but it's really going into the future. The daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is America. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. And this really, these people are going to be used as a trap to lure them into the big conflict, which they already going to get into it anyway. But the Most High using them as bait to bait in America, to bait in Britain and Germany and France and the rest of them, the rest of the Edomite nations. You're going to go fight. Eventually, you're going to Armageddon. You might as well stop pussyfooting around, just going to do that thing. We ready for you to do it, but it's going to take time. This is GMS, North Carolina. Ezekiel 35, verse 3. I think verse, oh, you know what? Salakia, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. We're supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to be talking about these devils and they overthrow. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord of power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against it. It's coming right from the Lord. He's against Mount Seir. Oh no, brother, you preach your hate. Oh, somebody got a broken, like a damn bird with a broken wing, limping around, bitching and moaning. No, come on, brother. They got to be saved. That's not a horror Edomite. You can fuck off. The Lord said, prophesy against these devils. And he was against them. I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Where's a black Christian when you need one? So we can grill your ass to death. We can cook you up on this grill with these charcoals known as the scriptures. Verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Most I ain't saving no Edomites. You might as well just quit crying over these devils. They going into perdition. But first, the Most High gonna make a big, gigantic show of them, make them go fight each other in World War III and fuck up their whole civilization. That's what's gonna happen to them. And whether we live, through this, or they kill us, or whatever they do, somebody gonna be here to prophesy, and they're gonna be saying the same thing as us. So get mad all you want to. You might as well just put up with us. At least we ain't gonna do shit but preach the word. Ezekiel 36, verse 5. Listen close. Not to you brothers out there, but to the people that's gonna watch. Because you love to come with your fucking opinions. Read what the Bible says. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, the Palestinians, and the other nations that's over there, and against all Idumea, the fake Jews, right? Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for prey. This is what they've done. They divided up the Holy Land, and they took it unto themselves, and now it's a curse. Now you got to fight each other. And if you wanted to pass off the truth that if you was the people of the Lord, you wouldn't be over there fighting right now. When real Israel goes home, nobody's going to be there fighting anymore. Let's go on and get the prophecy right now. Eventually, that's what's supposed to happen. All the war and stuff breaks out before the Israelites go home. And when it's accomplished, then we're at rest. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, all 12 of the tribes. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. This is what Geno Jennings like to read, try to prove we going off because we say we the Israelites and that only Israel can be saved. He reads this, and so do other whack-ass Christians to try to say we wrong. No, we're not wrong. We know eventually all nations will be able to flow to it, but is that happening now? Are all nations able to flow to Jerusalem now? No. So how in the hell can they be the Israelites then? You put your foot in your mouth, Gino, with your naked face. The Lord gonna destroy you, man. Verse 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. Christians. Out of Zion shall go forth the law. Oh, the Lord dies. We can eat whatever we want. We can celebrate. Close your mouth. Flies are getting out. You lied. We've been caught you. We've been telling you. Vocab Malone ain't gonna do no videos on this. You've been saying the law was done away, but why does it say out of Zion shall flow the law? Because the law is going to be implemented on the whole earth when the Israelites go home. Another clue, another prophecy not yet fulfilled by the Israelis. We told you that, but you didn't want to listen because you say we black. We're black. No, you black, void of light. Verse 3 again, and many shall go and say, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And this is the thing. Fake Christians want to use this when they want to prove all nations can be saved, but then you don't want to say shit about it when we trying to prove to you that when the real Israelites go home, this will be enacted. So you can't do one without the other. This don't mean all nations going to be saved. It means that what we told you, after we break them and put them into captivity, and then they, and then we're going to teach them the ways, or they're going to learn the ways of the Lord after they become our slaves. See, they're going to be let out of captivity, and then they're going to be allowed to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. They're going to learn of the ways of the Israelites. It's going to be implemented on the whole earth. But what verse 4 saying? He shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords in the plowshares. They're going to take all their weapons. They're going to be gone. They're going to go back to farming. There's going to be peace on earth. And their spears and the pruning hooks, same thing. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. You won't be able to fight. You won't be able to kill. No, going to be no nations, militaries, no more bloodshed on the planet. None of that. You know why? Because the Israelites gonna be ruling. Our Lord Yahushua gonna be on the throne. He's gonna be already destroyed America, Babylon the Great. So let me get it straight. You telling us that you the people of the Lord, but this ain't happened yet? Where's the streets of gold? Where's the 12 tribes? Where's the law being implemented among the whole earth? See, Israelites don't even supposed to be being wicked no more when the Lord go home. The new covenant will have been here. Where's the immortals at? I don't see any. You just have nowhere to go. We like the fact that you putting all that stuff on the news, because all you're doing is exposing yourself more and more. So allow us to shovel a few more shovels of dirt on your ass. This is Michael 4. It's gonna say the same thing. Michael 4:3, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords in the plowshares and their spears in the pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord of hosts hath spoken it. Ooh, killer. So none's gonna make the Israelites afraid when they go back to their land. You see that? But right now, you talking about how many people got killed. Oh, we in fear for our life. Send aid. Send the military. Someone call 911. Hey, you can't prove that you're the Israelites. Let me get you a video right quick. Let me show you something here. Let me show you something. Let's see here. Just bear with me here. That's right. That's Elder Hawaj said it. Someone please call 911. Where are the streets paved in gold? Where are the 12 foundations? Where's the city? See, you don't have nothing to go on. Play you something. This lady saying how scared she was. We just read a scripture that says none of them, nobody's gonna make them afraid anymore. Look at it and enjoy her terror. From NBC News, quote, people were dying all around. Music festival goer recounts Hamas attack. How in the fuck you in the kingdom of heaven? You in your land, the Savior's there ruling. You the 12 tribes, the people of the Lord, but then somebody with rocks and tanks and hang gliders, machetes and shit gonna come and attack you. Wouldn't the chariots just annihilate them? The answer is yes. Listen to it.
The terrorists be coming from 4 or 5 places, not like one direction. So we didn't know where to go here. So then I got into my car again. I drove a little bit more. I got some people were shooting on me. I left the car. I start to run. I saw a place with many pomelo tree, many pomelo trees. Like it was there like 200 trees. Okay, so I was going in the middle, just in the middle, and I was lying in the floor. It was the second hidden that I find, and there were just all around me, and they were going tree by tree and shooting everywhere from two sides. And I saw many people, like people were dying like all around. And then my boyfriend just came with his motorbike through all the things, and he came in and picked me in some point. I was the first one to go out of the field. Still, people took them like 2-3 hours to go out, and all the way people were dying, all the way on the road. Young people. It's a festival for young people. Many people were dying in the road.
And that's a short one. We're gonna get more. Let's see here what else we got. I'll play you another one. One more chaotic. This is from ABC News.
Kevin has made
Excuse me, just bear with me here. These stupid commercials, they always show up. And all they're gonna try to do is point to us and say something about us, is the way we teach, we cuss, and what does that got to do with you being not being the real people, because you can't prove it. This is ABC 7 News. Israel Hamas war, more than 1,000 dead as fighting continues for a second day. Now, it's important to note that when the Israelites go home, they're gonna be immortals. They ain't even gonna be able to die. How's 1,000 dying or 600? How's anybody dying? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Turning to developing news from the Middle East that we've been following this morning, Israel's security cabinet officially declaring Israel is at war. We're learning Israeli's strategic affairs minister has said Americans are being held hostage by Hamas fighters. The minister declined to estimate exactly how many Americans specifically could be held. Israeli Defense Forces officials say this is the most devastating attack to hit the state of Israel since it was created 75 years ago. The fighting between Israel and Hamas continued overnight with more rocket fire exchange, and we've seen an all-hands response from Washington. ABC News reporter Liz Landers is in D.C. with the latest. Liz.
Good morning, Zach. As you mentioned,
Before we continue, also, where's the prophecy that says that the real Israelites gonna get aid from Babylon the Great to help them defend themselves and from other nations? That ain't in the Bible. When you read Psalms, what is it, 83? It says all the nations are confederate against the Israelites. Good Lord, man.
Israeli authorities are now confirming that there are more than 100 civilians and soldiers that are being held hostage currently by Hamas.
A second day of intense fighting continues between Hamas and Israeli military forces following air, land, and sea attack by Hamas during the pre-dawn hours of Saturday, which has claimed hundreds of lives and thousands of injuries on both sides. It's the first time in 50 years Israel has been surprised by attack. Hamas says that their deadly actions are due to the Israeli government's policy occupation of Palestinian land, along with other grievances. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responding to Hamas, saying that, quote, Israel will settle the score. In Washington, congressional leaders and President Biden both condemned the attack. Mr. Biden spoke by phone Saturday with Netanyahu and addressed the nation, offering full U.S. support.
Israel has the right to defend itself and its people. Full stop.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been working the phones with his counterparts in the Middle East and elsewhere to try and de-escalate the situation. Meanwhile, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, while not having specific intelligence indicating a threat to the U.S., have issued a public safety notification to law enforcement nationally, urging them to remain vigilant.
And an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council is being held today in New York City. This comes as diplomats worldwide are concerned that the conflict between Israel and Gaza right now could spill over into other parts of that region, Zach.
See that? So let's get another scripture. Prophecy break, and then we'll get some more news. Some more news on. They're gonna say the same shit over and over anyway. Like I said, don't get too put off by brothers, because they're gonna blow it up in the media. They're gonna do all of that. Here's another one. And Elder Hawad just put up verse 4. I'm gonna start from verse 1. It said, this is for the Israelites. The new heaven and earth. Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. What does this mean? It's not mean it's going to be a new planet, right? Let's get that. Ecclesiastes, is it 1? It means everything's going to be refreshed, remade. Ecclesiastes 1:4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So it's never going to be destroyed. Because you'll have Jake get bugged out. We're going to leave this. See, we're going to leave this earth right here. We're going to go up there to the stars, and the cosmic beings going to come get us, and we're going to go to the new planet. And they got a planet hell on the way. We're going to drop the 2/3 off. Shut your ass up. It just means it's going to be recreated in righteousness. It's going to be a new vibration on the earth. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. This system is going to be put down. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. This is twofold, right? We know there's going to be a literal city, but also there's going to be the people of the Lord. After they were beamed up from the destruction of Babylon the Great, then they come back down in an appointed time. Let's go there. Revelation 11. Revelation 11 and starting at verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. This is talking about the spiritually dead Israelites. They're going to be in Babylon the Great, the predominant place where they will be, but they're going to wake up all over the earth, right? It means they were spiritually dead, but then the spirit of life is going to come into them and they're going to rise. Verse 11, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. What is that? The Holy Spirit, the great awakening, which is going on now. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. The great fear is what? Shown through Vocab Malone, the Christians coming up to the camps, black so-called Negroes making videos on TikTok trying to disprove who we are, weak ass black pastors in the churches trying to come against the truth, Esau hiring up a bunch of Israelites and fake defunct, teaching false doctrines. This shows that they are fearful, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So right now we're in that portion. Israelites, the great awakening, great fear fell upon everybody who see us. They see us growing and growing and growing, and they don't like it. So somewhere between, what's going to happen in verse 12 and this, you're going to have Jacob's trouble and all out hell, the famine of the word, and other things play out. Verse 12 says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. That's why they have to come back down, because they get beamed up at the appointed time. But when they get beamed up, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, which is chariots, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake. What's going to cause the great earthquake? Armageddon, right? When Armageddon hits, the America going to be destroyed by nuclear destruction. Let's get one more precept. Revelation 16. Show you that great earthquake. And we ain't even at Armageddon yet. So how the hell can the Israelites have went home now? It's not possible. Armageddon. Salakia, Revelation 16:13, it says Armageddon right here, right? It says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. These 3 unclean spirits are represented by what? Washington, D.C., which is a city-state, which represents the military power of this whole empire. London, England, representing the financial power of this whole empire. And then you got Vatican City, which is the false prophet, which is the spiritual headquarters of this whole empire. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of power almighty, which is Armageddon. And that's what they're currently doing behind the scenes, with money, with their war machine, and with their spirituality, trying to put religions against religions in order to bring about that third great woe, Armageddon. It says, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. This truth is the only way you will not be naked. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue, it should say Harmageddon, which means valley or mountain of troops. Down here in verse 19, and the great city was divided into 3 parts. And the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven. You see that? Doggone, I missed the great. Oh, right here, verse 18. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake. There it is, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. This is happening in Armageddon. And the great city Babylon, Salaki, and the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. That's what the great earthquake is going to do. But it's the nuclear warheads, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, nuclear warheads. Every stone about the weight of a talent, and the men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Now you'll have a bug out say, "Oh no, brother, ain't no missiles. It's talking about hail, like with Sodom and Gomorrah." Well, show me some hail that could cause a great earthquake and make mountains disappear and islands sink down into the ocean. You ain't gonna never find that. It's talking about nuclear warheads, and if you can't get it, so what? It ain't for you then. Revelation 6 describes the same thing. Revelation 6 says in verse 12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. These are great stars, which are the missiles. They're going to block out the sun's rays. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And that is what? Islands and mountains being moved out of their places. Nuclear mushroom cloud. This is the nuclear destruction of Babylon the Great that's going to come via WW3 or Armageddon. Now, back in this Revelation 11 and 13, when the elect get beamed up, in the same hour was there a great earthquake. That's what we just broke down. The nuclear destruction of Babylon the Great. And the 10th part of the city fell. All 10 FEMA zones in Babylon the Great were destroyed. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. That's Pookie, that's Ray Ray, that's Molly, that's Becky, that's all you different people in Babylon the Great running your mouth on the comment boards, working at YouTube, wherever you work at, talking your shit. The Lord's gonna make sure you get destroyed in Babylon the Great. You ain't leaving here. And the remnant were afraid. The elect is the only one that made it out, and they were afraid and gave glory to the God of heaven. You see, so when you read Revelation, now back to Revelation 21, when you see New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven, that's after they got saved and beamed up, showing you that the Israelites don't go back to the Holy Land, neither do they come down until America's destroyed, until Armageddon hits. So who the fuck are these people over there now saying they the people of the Lord? They Edomites. That's who they are. And they imposters. And you people in America, you trying to help them. You go ahead and help them. You guilty already. Good, help them. Revelation 21 and 1 again, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. This corrupt society will be overthrown, and all the alphabet's gonna be in it too. The whole box, all the alphabet soup, all the little alphabet cereal gonna be all destroyed right along with it. We can't wait. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven as a bride, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. That bride is the elect, right? The virgins. 5 were wise, the wise virgins. The 5 that were foolish got destroyed. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. What men? Israelite men. Read Ezekiel 37. It gives it to you. And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their God. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death. Wait a minute. Didn't 1,000? How many of you just saw it? People dying over there. You can't be the people of the Lord. Where's the Most High at? He ain't even there with them. Neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things have passed away. And that hasn't happened yet. Stop telling us who you are. We know that you're not who you said you were. You're imposters. You just have to get mad at us. We don't care. We do not care. This is a good one. Judah Israel, Shalom, brother Yakanan. Revelation 18 and 10. Did he put another one up? So this is the destruction of Babylon the Great. Standing afar off. These are the other nations going to be standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is that judgment come. Yep, the Lord going to get rid of this place. And the Israelites don't go home until this place is destroyed. This is a tribe of Yahweh, Isaiah 26:20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. This is when the elect gets beamed up. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. The furious anger of the Lord must play out. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. And in verse 27 of that same book, the next verse, it says that the Lord is going to punish Leviathan, the crooked serpent that is in the sea. It's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's who it's speaking of. See? And we found out. You can't hide it. GMS North Carolina, Luke 12 and 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. We found out prophetically that you ain't who you said you was. You said you was Jacob, but it looks like you're Esau. You fit all the prophecies of Esau. You divided the Holy Land. You took the Israelites into captivity. You do wickedness all over. You make wickedness a safe place for wickedness to thrive on the earth. These are all things that Esau would do. You live by the sword. You got great weaponry. These are all prophetic qualities of Esau, Edom, not of Jacob. And wrong. You lied to us, E, but we already knew that. Let's get another video. Just hold on here. I'll dig it up. All right. Here we go. Check this one out. This one is called Israel's hostage rescue operation is unlike anything the world has ever seen. What? Hostages? Israelites went hostage and they back in the Holy Land? How? That don't even make sense. You already know why. Let's listen to it.
Good Sunday morning. Israel is at war after Hamas launched a surprise multi-front attack from Gaza, which Israel says has killed more than 300 and wounded at least 1,500. The timing adding to the devastation. It is the largest attack on the state of Israel since the 1973 Arab-Israeli war, almost exactly 50 years ago. The bombardment began with thousands of rockets launched into Israel. Hamas gunmen used explosives to breach the border fence, crossing with motorcycles, pickup trucks, paragliders, and boats. Israel's military confirms both civilians and soldiers have been abducted, taken as hostages into Gaza. More than 300 people have been killed in Gaza in retaliatory strikes and nearly 2,000 wounded. This morning, the war threatens to expand as Israel exchanged strikes with Hezbollah in the north. The attack comes at a time of deep divisions and political instability in Israel. And as the U.S., Israel, and Saudi Arabia have been negotiating what would be an historic diplomatic agreement opposed by Iran, everyone was caught off guard in a stunning intelligence failure from Israel to Washington, with one senior U.S. military official saying, "We were not tracking this." On Saturday, a flurry of urgent calls, President Biden speaking with Prime Minister Netanyahu.
The United States stands with Israel. We will not ever fail to have their back. We'll make sure that they have the help their citizens need and they can continue to defend themselves.
My colleague Raf Sanchez is on the ground in Sderot, Israel. And Raf, we see the disturbing images behind you. What is the very latest there?
Yeah, Kristen, I am standing in front of all that remains of an Israeli police station that was overrun by Hamas gunmen yesterday. This was the scene of a 20-hour, very intense gun battle as Israeli forces tried to regain control. And if my colleague Dave Copeland just swings the camera around here, you can see, Kristen, all over this scene, we are seeing cars like this in ruins. There is a boot from what may be a member of the Israeli security forces. And back there in the rubble, Kristen, all morning, we have been watching as they have been pulling bodies out of the debris. Under our feet are the shell casings, a sign of how intense the fighting was. And overhead, we are hearing Israeli fighter jets carrying out a punishing round of airstrikes inside of Gaza. But more than 24 hours on from this surprise attack, Israeli forces are still not fully in control on the grounds. There are reports of continued fighting with pockets of Palestinian militants. And as we drive the highways of southern Israel, we are seeing all evidence pointing to a large-scale Israeli ground incursion in the works. We are seeing tanks and artillery being moved into position. Now, Kristen, that would be a complex military operation, but on top of that, it is a hostage rescue operation, unlike anything perhaps the world has ever seen. The Israeli military has now confirmed that there are both Israeli soldiers and civilians being held captive by Hamas, by Palestinian Islamic Jihad inside of Gaza. Some of the videos we have seen on social media are absolutely harrowing. A young woman who was attending a dance party in the fields near Gaza being carried away on the back of a motorcycle. Videos then showing her inside Gaza, but this morning her fate is unknown, along with the fates of so many other of these Israeli captives, these Israeli hostages. And you can guarantee them that that is weighing very heavily on the minds of Israeli decision makers, from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on down, as they try to figure out what is the best course of action to get these people back safe and to exact what Prime Minister Netanyahu says will be massive retaliation for this surprise attack. Kristen.
Those images just devastating. Ralph Sanchez, thank you.
Thanks.
Devastating to who? See, so that's it. Another one. So I'm gonna read this. I posted it. We read it already, but I'm gonna read it again because they talk about people dying, right? Well, when the Israelites go home, this is what it says: Revelation 21:4, and the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. What? And there should be no more death. Why? Because the Israelites gonna be immortals. They're gonna be immortals when they go home, right? Let me go over there. The Israelites supposed to be immortals when they go home. What is this? What are they talking about? It's right here on this page. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Revelation 21:4. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And it's pursuant to what's written in the New Testament, talking about the Israelites. Let's read it now. A new covenant. Hebrews 8:7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, there should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. So right here, Israel and Judah, that's all 12 of the tribes. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. Why does it say after those days? Because all the major empires in the Bible in Daniel chapter 2 should have already been fulfilled. Armageddon should already came already. Babylon the Great is destroyed. The Israelites have beamed up into the chariots and turned into immortals, new bodies. And inside of those new bodies, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. All Israelites will, at that time, which is going to be the elect, all shall know me from the least to the greatest. And then the 2/3 will come back in the kingdom. And there's more. Even goes back to the Old Testament, Jeremiah 31:31. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All 12 tribes elect coming from. That's the 144,000 and the rest of the 1/3. Salakia. Verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break. Although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. Damn thing keep popping off. It says, after those days, said the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more. And that ain't even happening now. These people are still sinning, having all kind of alphabet parties and, weirdo, freaky shit, worshiping false gods and idols. What about that? You got Christian churches over there in the Holy Land. You got Islamic temples and mosques over there, right? And then you got these people with the Wailing Wall and all of that. None of that stuff's supposed to be happening when the Israelites go home. And we've been over this many times. We just want to rub your nose in prophecy a little more, you stupid Christians. This is Judah, Israel, Jeremiah 46:27. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Whoo! a mega sword, Hattori Hanzo, ninja slice, Gensu chop, salvation of the elect. Jeremiah 30:10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. You see him afraid? Oh, Hezbollah gonna shoot missiles over here. America, help. Yeah. You're not the people. And we got it. We got it right here in the books. That's why you want us out of the way, but you can't get us out of the way. GMS, North Carolina, Isaiah 14:3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Ooh, got you again. And we got more like that. They're all over the Bible. Let me pull a couple out. I got here Jeremiah. Let's go to Ezekiel 37. Let's go to that one. Ezekiel 37, down to the bottom. It says the reunion of Judah and Israel. You go into the 12 tribe sign, right? You get down here, the Davidic kingdom. Verse 20. You know what? Let's start up here a little bit. Ezekiel 37:21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord of power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. See right there, you bastard. It says Israel's going home, you bastard. You fucking anti-Semitic. Wait a minute. Calm down, Finkelberg. Let's read a little more. Let's read a little bit more. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. Now what you got to say? And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Where's the rest of the tribes at? Where's the rest of the tribes at? Schickel Gruber. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols. Uh-oh. Still idol worship going on over there. Now what you got to say? You're too busy with bloody lamb in your mouth. Nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. You won't even be sinning when you go back. Pursuant to what we just read. Immortals, new bodies, right? The law in our inward parts. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. Whoo, wait a minute. So there ain't gonna be no Israelites and no other nations scattered anymore? Nope. So how the hell you over here with us? You're over there in Ukraine talking about what do they call them? Ukrainian Jews. Then you over here in this country, Slavic Jews. You're supposed to be all back in the Holy Land, immortals and shit. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd, and they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. No more Pink City. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, on top of all that, I'm gonna really hit you off. I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. Where's the punk ass Christians at? Where's all the nations at? My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yeah, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And the heathen, see that? The Palestinians will be rising up with their chest poked out, trying to take your land. They will get crushed. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel. That's Yasharallah Israel, not Adawam Israel that you are now. No, Yasharallah. When my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. It's really, at this point, it's overkill. You're getting all bloody over here. You know, all kind of cut up. You got, is there more? Yeah, brother, there's more. And I'm going to leave some meat on the bone because the brother's going to come in and they're going to do their lessons, and they're already doing them just to make you look a little more foolish. Baruch 2 and 29. Let's go down there. It says right here, this is going to get you in trouble, Bishop Nate. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. They're going to get the Holy Spirit. There's going to be a great awakening. I'm going to have prophets everywhere. It's going to be great. And shall know that I am the Lord, their power, for I give them an heart and ears to hear. Holy Spirit all over the earth. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. They're going to start repenting. They're going to get their beards back. They're going to teach the word. They're going to wear their fringes again, right? They're going to keep the Passover again. And the other people are going to be saying that they not the real Israelites, but they are. For they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God. They shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people Israel out of the land that I have given them. So you can't be the people. You can't be. You don't have the new bodies. You don't have immortality. The Lord ain't there. There's no 12 tribes altogether, right? You're not immortals. Where's the chariots? Where's the Lord? Where's King David? I mean, all these questions and more we can come up with, and you ain't gonna never answer them, because all you're gonna keep hollering about is anti-Semitic, pointing the finger, hide behind a little black cube on your forehead, and you have no validity. Now I'll play you another video. So we're gonna play the intro. Hold up here, just bear with me 1 second. So we're gonna play the intro from the NBC Nightly News. And we'll play a little bit of it. I ain't gonna, play the whole thing, but I'll play some of it just for the senses, NBC Nightly News, full broadcast October the 7th, which you're not gonna watch the whole thing, but I will give out the link because we did enough. The point is made. Listen to this.
Your breaking news tonight. War erupts in the Middle East. A stunning surprise attack by Palestinian militants inside Israel on a major Jewish holiday. Israel declaring it is a war, launching a counterattack into the Gaza Strip, leveling this skyrise in response to the surprise invasion by Hamas forces.
Now you see what this little devil right here just did? You see that? This is a hurt-ass cracker right here. After all them scripts that we done read, proving that people are not the real Israelites, he's going to put that up there. That's why you're going to get fucking destroyed, Esau, Edom, you devil. The Lord going to mash you and mangle you real good, and we can't wait till he does it. You see that? He ain't going to have the nerve to put the cross, or like the cross is something, That fucking, they spell Israel wrong. Go away, Gary. You bother us.
Storming into Israel by land, sea, and air. Thousands of rockets launched into Israel, overwhelming its defenses. Hundreds dead in Israel and hundreds now in the Palestinian territory. Militants kidnapping Israeli soldiers and civilians, now holding them hostage. How many were taken? Israel's prime minister vowing revenge. Our correspondent inside Israel. President Biden condemning the attack on Israel, how the White House is trying to contain the crisis.
The United States stands with Israel.
Plus, security being ramped up at synagogues here in the U.S. amid fears of retaliation. Also in the U.S., two massive rainmakers converging on the Northeast today. Millions under flood threat. Rescues already underway. And runway collision. A shuttle bus slams into a passenger plane in Chicago. We hear from passengers on board.
This is NBC Nightly News with Jose Diaz-Balart.
Good evening. We begin tonight with one of America's closest allies attacked and now at war.
He just told you something right there. He said one of America's closest allies attacked. Wait a minute. Did we read that in Psalms 83, that all the nations would be confederate against Israel? The Israelites in the Bible don't have any allies, my nigga. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Scenes this morning across Israel were chaotic, unprecedented, and terrifying. The Palestinian militant group Hamas choosing a Jewish holiday to launch an attack on and into Israel. There was the barrage of rockets into Israel, but also incursions by militants. These were the scenes of Hamas fighters storming across the border, marauding through the streets of Israel. Hamas confirming it has taken an unconfirmed number of hostages, soldiers and civilians dragged from the streets. An Israeli official calling today their 9/11. Israel's response so far has been swift, but only just beginning. They've already leveled entire buildings in Gaza, the territory that's home to Hamas. The death toll is at least 200 people on each side and is expected to rise. Our team.
Well, they try to keep the numbers low. I done seen 1,000. Now, this was filmed last night. So maybe he was, speaking off of what he knew then. But since then, they said, here, this thing right over here, if you look over here, it says 700 dead in Israel. That was minutes ago. So we'll see,
Teams are across the region and here in the U.S. We begin with Raf Sanchez on the ground in Israel.
It looks like a scene from Israel's darkest nightmare. A surprise attack beginning with thousands of rockets, followed by waves of heavily armed Palestinian gunmen pouring out of Gaza and onto the streets of cities and towns across southern Israel. The militants taking whole families hostage, marching them barefoot through their own neighborhoods. And then cries of triumph as they spirit their captives back to Gaza. This woman, bloodied, zip-tied, and terrified, struggling as she's forced into the back of a captured Israeli military jeep. And here, the body of an Israeli soldier dragged from the turret of a tank and beaten by the mob. Israel's military tonight confirming there are both civilians and soldiers among the captives. Their exact number is unknown. But the army says all options are on the table, including a full-scale ground invasion of Gaza to bring them home. Israel's prime minister telling his people, citizens of Israel, we are at war, not in an operation, but at war. And every hour, the death toll rising, these civilians killed at a bus stop. And in this kibbutz, victims packed into a small room and executed at point-blank range. The surprise attack led by highly trained fighters from Hamas and Islamic Jihad, blasting their way through the security barrier separating Israel from Gaza, in some places using bulldozers to smash through. This unit fighting into the Erez border crossing, the main terminal between Israel and Gaza. Usually tightly controlled by Israeli troops, the crossing today completely overrun by Palestinian fighters. Israel's military caught badly off guard, surging its forces into the south, fighting street by street across more than 20 locations as it tries to regain control.
This is usually one of the busiest highways in southern Israel, and on a holiday weekend, you would expect it to be full of cars. Instead, you can see Israeli security forces have set up a checkpoint here. They are searching vehicles as they come by because they do not know where the gunmen are.
The rockets, more than 3,000 in total, coming in wave after relentless wave throughout Shabbat. I was sleeping, she says. My grandson woke me up, telling me, wake up, wake up. Then I heard a boom. Everyone started crying. Israeli jets pounding targets across Gaza. This tower collapsing after a direct strike. And Palestinian hospitals flooded with the dead and wounded, many of them civilians. A war only in its opening hours, and a nightmare the people of the Holy Land can't seem to wake up from.
And Raf joins us now from Israel. Raf, there are fears the death toll will rise tonight.
That's right, Jose. Israel's foreign ministry says at least 200 people were killed in this attack. And inside Gaza, Palestinian officials say more than 230 have died in Israeli airstrikes so far. Those numbers expected to rise as this war continues. Jose.
So you hear, as you're hearing about all the death, let's read the prophecy again. GMS, South Carolina, Revelation 21:4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things have passed away. I thought you was the people. When the Israelites go home, that's how you're supposed to be. It's supposed to be no more death, no more crying, no more tears, right? That's what it's supposed to be. And you haven't fulfilled that. You're not fulfilling it now. You haven't fulfilled it, and you're not gonna. Because Armageddon, the greatest war that's ever been on the earth, is about to take place. Let's play a little more of it.
Raf Sanchez in Israel, thank you. Prime Minister Netanyahu vowed to avenge the attack by Hamas, saying, quote, the enemy will pay a price like they have never known before. Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel joins us now. Richard, what likely happens next?
Well, I think we're going to see an Israeli military response. The only question is how big it will be. And Israel in the past has not been shy about using its military superiority to hit Hamas targets in Gaza when Hamas has fired rockets. But the real limiting factor here is these hostages, because if Israel launches a broad invasion of Gaza right now, it could inadvertently kill some of its own citizens. Gaza is densely populated. There are many tunnels. It is a place that Hamas knows better than Israel, and it is very likely that Hamas will put some of these hostages in key locations and use them as human shields. So I think what we're going to see first is a period of intelligence gathering before any major Israeli operations. The other limiting factor, public opinion, particularly in the Arab world. If Israel is seen as carrying out some blanket response against the Palestinians in Gaza and incurring a huge death toll, it could trigger a regional war. Jose?
Richard Engel, thank you. Israel has some of the most advanced intelligence agencies in the world, but somehow they were caught totally off guard. And so was the U.S. Molly Hunter is following that for us tonight.
Today will go down in history as a massive state intelligence failure. The Palestinian Hamas militant group catching Israel both completely by surprise and also deeply unprepared.
This is extensive planning that would have to take place over the course of many months. And the fact that the Israelis seem to have been blind to it is something that is going to, I think, lead to an overhaul of the Israeli intelligence service leadership.
Washington apparently also in the dark. One senior U.S. military official telling NBC News, we were not tracking this. U.S. officials telling NBC News that if Israel knew an attack was imminent, they didn't share it.
You're going to have to question whether or not the sources they have been doubled back against them, and whether or not Hamas was able to identify those individuals and feed false information back to Israel. But also, I think they have to wonder about why their very exquisite, sensitive technical collection systems were not able to pick up anything.
Breaching the border fence was unprecedented, seen here in Hamas video. But bursting into southern Israel was a shock to Tel Aviv. And the timing is no accident. Exactly 50 years ago, the 1973 October invasion by Egypt and Syria also caught Israel completely off guard.
Good evening. What I want to know is, I just thought of this. How is it that you got perfect video from behind enemy lines of Hamas? You got perfect video of all the attacks, and you got hold of it since yesterday when this attack happened. What did they do? Did they overnight you the video and shit? Is that what happened? They overnighted you. You got perfect footage of them attacking and them kidnapping folks and doing all this stuff. You got perfect video of it. Like it was filmed by one of their people. Well, how did you get a hold of it over here in America? come on, man. Really? I don't know, brothers. I don't know. Let's look at a little more.
The war in the Middle East grew in intensity today.
Over the last year, a record number of Palestinians killed and an uptick in Israeli settler violence and Israeli military raids in the occupied West Bank.
For more than a year now, experts have been warning that things are reaching a boiling point. There was nowhere for the story to go except a breaking point with a right-wing Israeli government that doesn't recognize that Palestinians exist.
But even with all the warning signs, no one saw the scale of today's attack coming. Molly Hunter, NBC News, London.
The White House was also caught off guard by the attacks. President Biden today addressing the American people and Israelis about the fighting.
That the United States stands with Israel. We will not ever fail to have their back.
Kelly O'Donnell is at the White House for us tonight. Kelly.
Good evening, Jose. The president's words today delivered a message in two very different directions. First, one of reassurance, citing an unbreakable bond between the United States and Israel, pledging support to its people, and promising to personally keep in close touch with a now wartime Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after tensions in their relationship. The other message was a stark warning to enemies of Israel that they should not try to exploit this moment of vulnerability to seek any advantage. Joined by Secretary of State today, the president also said he spoke to Jordan's King Abdullah and he would work with other Arab partners. Jose?
Kelly O'Donnell at the White House, thank you. Let's bring in Andrea Mitchell, our chief foreign affairs correspondent. Andrea, there are always tensions in this region, but
I want to read you a prophecy. I just brought this one up. Yeah. Okay. This brother got info. Judah Israel, Hamas was recording the videos and putting them online immediately. Hamas had men with them just to video the attacks. I should say, okay, brother, the water. That makes sense. That make more sense. And it, and that's something they would do. Just like niggas. Primitive niggas would do nigga shit, then put it up online and get caught. Cause them different troops will show up at their house and destroy them. This is Yasharallah 144, Jeremiah 10:30. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from afar, and thy seed from the land. From the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. There you go again. You see that? And I got one too. Let's get another one here, and then we'll shut it down. You get tired of listening to the talking heads like they know what's going on, and really just be on the lookout for the for the 52 fake out. All right, because they're showing you a lot of footage and a lot of stuff that's going on, but we can't be for sure that the things are happening the way that they're saying. So we start at the top here. It says a glorified Zion. This is when the Israelites go home. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I will read you some of it. Starting at verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. Right, everybody going to be in darkness as far as understanding. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. That's the elect waking up. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Meaning what? The Israelite foreigners, the same ones spoken about in in James 1:1. These are the Israelites from the other nations, we're some of those. James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Right, and also 1 Corinthians 12. Is it 12:2? 1 Corinthians 12:2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away into these dumb idols, even as ye were led. See, so you have Israelites, because this book was written to the Corinthians, who were what? Israelites living among the Corinthians, just like Romans was the book of Romans written to Israelites among the Romans. So we're scattered into all nations, being called Gentiles, but we are in fact Israelites, just as Paul was called a Roman, but he was from the tribe of Benjamin, right? So this whole book is to us. All this whole Bible is really to the Israelites. Now it goes on. Let's jump down a few verses. Verse 10 says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Right? So all nations are going to go into captivity under the Israelites. Therefore thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, the other nations, and that their kings may be brought. What are they going to be coming for? They coming to work. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. That's the proof that they're going to be in a servitude state, in captivity. Okay. Verse 13, the glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree and the pine tree and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow down themselves at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. So those nations are going to be serving the Israelites. They ain't going to be coming trying to attack, talking about this is our land too. None of that shit. They're going to be getting laid down. Well, they're going to get laid down. Then they're going to act right. They're going to come and serve us. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shall suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Israel. Which means what? We're going to get all this substance. It don't mean we're going to literally, suck no men breasts, none of that like that. All right. So we're going to get all their wealth. For brass, I will bring gold, and for iron, I will bring silver, and for wood, brass, and for stones, iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Listen to this. This is a major cut. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land. Is violence going on now? Yes, it is. That's just more proof. Another shovel full of dirt. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory, perfect understanding and wisdom. The sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, understanding and wisdom. For the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Thy people also shall be all righteous. The new covenant, new bodies, law in our inward parts. We're immortals, not able to die, no more wickedness, not even one sin. So is that happening now? The answer is no. Listen to this. They shall inherit the land forever. Then you're going to have the land when all these things occur. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh will hasten it in his time. And so if you ain't doing all those things prophetically, you ain't the people of the Lord. And we know that you're not, and you're not. You're not doing those things. You're not the people of the Lord. You can't fool us. The Bible has the final say so. We got it right here. It's all in the document. So, and wrong again. Brothers and sisters, be mindful when you're on these comment boards. Don't go on the comment boards of these news reports or these videos or any of this stuff, right? Saying anything inflammatory. Don't even cheer about. And when people die, don't cheer and say, you're good. I'm glad they did. Don't say all that. You don't need to say it. If you ain't got no scriptures and really, you shouldn't be post scriptures on these news reports. Don't go on these people's videos and say shit to them. You want to post scriptures? You on our videos. You can say what you got to say with the scriptures. Don't do that because they're going to try to, look, see, they happy that people dying. We can still be happy. You know what kind of mood we in, but just be careful. All right, because we don't know what these devils, they're always doing more than one thing. They do sleight of hand, very good, misdirection, witchcraft. So be careful. You brothers, I know your brothers are gonna do your lessons. Light these fools up. Bring out their treachery through the scriptures, though. Prophetically, they have no answers. Don't try to make prophecies say what you want them to say. I saw one Jake tell me Damascus gonna get attacked. Look, man, as far as end time prophecy, the Lord ain't said nothing about no Damascus and Jordan or whatever get attacked. Don't try to stretch shit. Stick with what you've been taught. And if you don't teach the Bible, just close your damn mouth up. Just listen, watch, taking notes, but close your mouth. So that's it, brothers. So this has been war in the Holy Land. What does it mean? It means they're not the people of the Lord. Very simple and plain. Lord willing, it was edifying. You got something out of it. We'll see you again soon, Lord willing. The brothers that do your videos, light them up. Bring the prophecies out. It's easy. You got it. You got all, the apostles taught us well. Let's go. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. The water, everybody, for joining. Shalom. Go Cowboys.